I was on Pinterest the other day and I found this beautiful photo of a room I really liked, but it wasn't the room that caught my eye. It was this little sculpture that was sitting on the mantle. And as soon as I saw it, I was just like, you could make that so easily. This tutorial is going to show you how to create figure line art out of a wire, and it'll be a freestanding sculpture. So check it out. The first thing I did was to examine the photo to figure out exactly how the lines looked and how the wire was sort of interacting with itself. It wasn't that complicated. So I just sketched out this template to go by. So you can either find your own online or you can download this one, which I'll put in the description box below. Get creative with it, but essentially what you're looking for is a drawing that uses one continuous line, because that is going to help you use the wire to create that drawing in 3D. If you're Googling it, search continuous line drawing or single line drawing. That will kind of bring up some results for you to go by if you want to create your own instead of using the template I've provided. So once you have your template, whether you drew it, downloaded it, printed it, whatever, you need to get some heavy gauge armature wire. Easy to find on Michaels or Amazon. You could also use floral wire for this, the kind you find at the dollar store. I don't know, they're like hanging and they're usually metallic or a funky color. As far as thickness, think about how big your sculpture is going to be and use that as your gauge. If you're going to create something really small with a lot of details, you're going to want thinner wire because it's a lot easier to manipulate, versus if it's something with really big curves that's tall, you're going to want a heavier wire because it'll support the structure and those larger shapes that you create. You'll also need to grab yourself a pair of long nose pliers, which you can also get at the dollar store or anywhere hardware store, and a pair of tin snips or wire snips, basically anything that can cut soft wire. So grab your wire and shape it around your template. Just kind of guide it along the lines that you've created. Whenever you get to a turn that's maybe a little tighter or sharper, that's where you're going to use your long nose pliers, and just use those to kind of squeeze out the shape that you need. It shouldn't be that hard. You can even do it with your fingers. It's just a lot easier if you use a plier. As you're going, imagine this in 3D. So if you're doing a figure drawing, think about which leg is going to be in the back. Would the shoulders be forward? Where would the head be in relation to everything else? Because if something's going to be in the back, when you cross the wire, you want to make sure that that leg is laying behind the other layer of wire instead of in front of it. So once you get to the end, clip your wire, and then you're going to sort of pull it apart in order to create A, the base that it's going to stand on, and B, have like the leg that goes in the back, B in the back, and so on and so forth. So just sort of pull it apart a little bit just to give it a little bit of 3D shape. This really should look like a drawing that exists like in space. So it doesn't have to be super 3D, but 3D enough that it looks like a sculpture, not something that's going to hang on the wall, and that can stand on its own. Once you like how it looks, bring it outside and give it a couple coats of spray paint. Any color you like. I went with a classic black, but it would be really cool to do it in sort of a neon yellow for a cool modern pop, or I don't know, maybe a russet tone if it's a more neutral boho space. Anyway, use your favorite color. I was able to replicate this super high-end designer look for 50 cents in wire and maybe 10 minutes of hands-on time. Definitely well worth the time spent. If you're interested in a different type of wire sculpture that uses air dry clay as a base, check out this video.